Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the View from the Mountain. My name is StoneMount64, and I wanted to talk with you guys today, tell you a bit about what's going on with me with some of my changes at the end of the video, but also really talk a bit about my experience moving from the Xbox 360 to Xbox One, that next gen, or I guess now current gen, and then onto PC, which you can also argue is current gen, or I would say next gen, really. So I'm going to talk a bit about that, but dude, that beginning intro clip. Come on now. 1v4, held them off. They were pushing through. They had just taken our bomb guy down, pushing in. Hold them off like no problem, son. Love that clip. Hopefully you guys like that. I've seen a few other people do this, and I thought it was a great way to implement some of those one-off clips that you get that I don't want to make an entire video for, but I still want to share with you guys. There you go. And so I'll probably do that some more, as well as I really want to do some more of these commentaries because I get a lot of requests for them and for a lot of different topics that I get asked about and could easily be implemented as videos. But over these past few weeks, I've been working on a lot of stuff preparing for, I guess, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow when I begin working, which is going to be pretty crazy. And like I said, what I'm going to talk about at the end of the video. But I wanted to start out talking a bit about the differences that I've noticed from the consoles to the PC gaming. And I'm going to use Battlefield 4 as the landmark here, right? Because Call of Duty, come on now, that's the other one that everybody plays, but I played that on the 360 on the Xbox One. There is no difference between those two games. They give you ground war on the Xbox One, and that's the only difference. Come on now. I mean, there's a little graphics improvement, but compared to Battlefield 4, forget about it. There's a giant difference between Battlefield 4 360 and Xbox One. And whenever I say 360 and Xbox One, if you guys have listened to my other commentaries before, I'm also referring to the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and I guess Wii U. Yeah, right. No, that one's actually okay. But essentially, it's just easy for me to say Xbox. That's what I've always played as. Okay, so first off, the Xbox 360, I was very impressed with the change from Battlefield 3 to Battlefield 4. Huge leap forward. Loved all the graphics, the more interactive destruction as well, and I was really enjoying it. But once we got to the Xbox One, I was so impressed with the 60 frames per second, the improved graphics, which still weren't up to par with the PC, like medium settings. And now I'm playing on PC, which I'm playing in full 1080p, over 60 frames per second, and max ultra settings with the lighting, with the anti-aliasing, you name it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos because honestly, I like looking at it too. I like looking at all the pretty stuff. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, and you can argue for a few other things, which I'll touch on in this video, but you do have the same core structure of gameplay, right? It's just a few aesthetic things that I think have really seen the change throughout it. Except for, I do have to say, coming from the 360 to Xbox One, then we really did have a gameplay change because of the fact that you could play on the full-size maps and have all the objectives to use and utilize. But overall, I gotta say the gameplay has been pretty much the same throughout. I don't know why people have such a hatred for the PC versus the consoles, or even the consoles versus the consoles. I mean, it's such minor differences. It's really, you just choose whatever your friends are playing so you can play with them. And then everything else other than that, it's just kind of minor differences. Although, I guess your group does have to initially decide on something, but overall, there's not too much differences within that. Just whatever's kind of your personal preference. And you can't go wrong with either. Like I said, the gameplay is virtually the same on both of them. And you can argue one versus the other in terms of which one's more bang for your buck. If you're going to be more game-focused, maybe the PlayStation's better for you. But maybe if you like the entertainment system and the voice control of the Xbox, which I do, then that might be better for you. So it's really independent. But the fact that there's competition is such a benefit. I mean, it's ridiculous. Moving over these past few weeks and getting everything set, having to deal with so many different companies, including the cable company, the post office. I mean, they don't care at all about you. It is so difficult to get anything done with them because they really don't care. If it doesn't work for you, they're still getting paid. It doesn't really matter. Whereas when I was dealing with my credit card company, right, they had, first off, they have a lot of competition, so they had fantastic customer service. With my apartment place, there's so many different apartments here. They've got to be nice to you and, you know, give you good customer service. In the same sense, and that was extremely enjoyable, but in the same sense, the console guys, they've got competition back and forth, so they've got to be at least up to par with the other, and then if they do something better, which is what a lot of people are saying the PlayStation has done with some of the implementations they've made, then people will choose that, and then the Xbox will have to catch up and make some of those changes, which I know they did at the beginning. They announced that they were going to do some game sharing thing or exclusive to only your console and your account, and then they took that off because the PlayStation didn't do that. Imagine if we only had one option and had to deal with that. This is probably the best thing, having this competition and people implementing things, changing things, these companies to improve and get things better. In fact, it'd probably be even better if we had more consoles in the market rather than everybody just going to the PS4 or only the Xbox One. Overall, the gameplay experience is pretty similar, and they're just pushing each other to go further, which is not always the case. There are steps backwards times, but you know, I think that it's been pretty fun. And honestly, I choose to play different games based off of what I can record the best for you guys and get the most entertainment. PC, though, is pretty nice, having the advantage as well of the fact that there's so many games to play and so many different options. There are a few console exclusives, but there's a lot more PC in terms of people just making free-to-play games that are just on sale, that are, you know, more independent games that they put on there. Now, these aren't always great, and people have been asking me, Stone, why aren't you playing DayZ or even Arma 3, which are obviously PC games? Well, those games are terrible to run. They just are so inconsistent. I mean, they're so frustrating, I can't play it. I like the consistency, and that is one good thing that I always have loved about the console. If you get a game, if you get your Call of Duty for the $60 or whatever, you know exactly what you're getting. You know it's going to have great performance in terms of your character movement, in terms of how things interact for the most part. Obviously, there's some issues, but if you play that game, you're going to be able to play it. And you might not be happy when you're playing it, like most people, but you can play it, right? And, you know, that's something that Battlefield's had a bit of issues about, but overall, you have a lot more consistency when you're playing with console games, at least from my experience so far. And, you know, I got to take into account as well that I am trying to record things. So a lot of my experiences on PC, which is one thing about the stability that's been a little bit shaky for me in terms of everything that I do. I am using Google all the time, trying to get things fixed, trying to get things improved, because I keep running into problems. And one of those reasons is because obviously I'm recording everything. I'm streaming things. I'm doing a whole bunch of different stuff that the average user probably wouldn't do. So that's why I've been running into more things, and it's been so much to learn. But the payoff is obviously more games that are somewhat cheaper in certain cases, and you have a much larger variety, which, you know, it depends what you're going for. And honestly, I would be perfectly happy with still playing the console right now, but I also wanted to upgrade for the sake of making videos and making things smoother and easier and higher quality, with a more diverse set of gameplay, being able to cover different games and expand my audience that I'm reaching out to. But not everybody is set for a PC, you know? They don't want to learn all the things that go with it. They just need a little thing that does Microsoft Word and Gmail or something. And you know, I totally understand that. It's nice to have a separate thing that just is good enough so you can play with your friends and have a good time on the latest stuff. That's, you know, a few $100 within your price range. And then you got something separate that's easy and consistent. You know, you just have to plug something in. You don't really need to worry about something else. Well, except for learning the Xbox menus, which are, granted, almost impossible. But you could do that. Probably easier than learning PC if you're not into that at all. So I see the appeal, but I love the quality. I love the gorgeous screens and the epic games, the diversity. So that's why I went for it, and that's what you guys like to see from me. You get some quality content coming your way, and I get an enjoyable hobby to kind of do and, you know, share some of my gaming experiences. But starting my job tomorrow, I'm going to be having less time. I'm going to be working 7 to 5 every day, Monday to Friday, and I'm excited because this is a great position. And coming out of school, obviously, I've been working towards getting A's and, you know, doing all that stuff, which I have been, but now those A's have paid off to get me where I am, so that way I can start making money, which is, you know, what everybody's after. I mean, you want to be able to provide for yourself, be on your own, and that's what I'm kind of doing here, which is really an exciting experience. So we're getting there, but I wanted to let you guys know that nothing's really going to change with my channel, I don't think. I graduated from the top of my class with my internship and school while doing YouTube and everything. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. And over the past few weeks, I've been preparing a lot of things in terms of video templates, my World's Best Clip of the Week series, for example, setting that up so that way I can just do a few little things and copy and paste most of it with replacing the clips, and there you go. I'm ready to go. I can record my voice over it and get that out for you, minus looking at all the other clips. But, you know, I've made things pretty mainstream, so when I want to go to my Twitch and start streaming, or even streaming on YouTube, I might try that some more. All I have to do is click a few buttons and I've got already everything set up. I learned how to use Vegas to do all my editing. I've got all the setup completed finally with everything where I want it and everything that I need to do this without having to worry about anything or trying to improve things later. So you guys can look forward to some more great content coming, as well as a lot of new games coming out, which I'm super excited to play and start getting into. So you'll be able to see a lot of variety, plus hopefully some great streams that I can put some highlights onto my YouTube. Really, my main focus is YouTube. It always has been, probably always will be, because this is where I can put the most entertaining videos. Take the highlights from a stream or something and then put it on here for you guys to enjoy. Only thing that might get hit really is my responsiveness to my messages. I'm going to spend a lot of the time playing the game so I can get the content to upload it and everything, but the responses, what I've traditionally have always done is replied to every single comment and every single Facebook and tweet. Now, over the past few weeks, that's been difficult because I've been trying to set all this stuff up for when I do start working, and I've been having to learn the PC and do all of this stuff, but you know, I'm still going to be reading through all of the comments, and then I might even start doing like a weekly Q&A type video, or you know, give you guys ideas for topics in a stream, and then record that kind of live commentary or something and do that as a weekly series. Or, you know, there's a lot of different other things I could do to help interact with that and you know, get you guys' feedback on things, because that's something that I thrive off of. Whatever you guys are liking, that's what I want to keep producing more of, because obviously it's a mutually beneficial relationship here, and I have a great time doing all the different videos that I do. So yeah, if you are still watching to this point, I appreciate your support a lot. And if you want to drop a comment down below wishing me luck on my job tomorrow, that'd be awesome. Feel free to drop a thumbs up on the video if you want to keep seeing some more commentaries and things like that as well. If you're excited for the future, as I always am. Change isn't always a bad thing. A lot of times it's actually exciting and very fun. Good challenges. That's what games are all about, man. If you want to be updated on even more, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, links down below. I don't really post out too much and spam you guys, but you know, if you want to stay up to date and just have another person to follow and something interesting to look at when you're taking a dump, there you go. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is StoneMount64, signing out.